Okay, now I'm hoping that the audience here has had some understanding of OneNote and that you're sitting in on it are wanting to know a little bit more. So hopefully what I do engage and show you is what we did as a school. I'll talk about us, where we started, where we are at the moment. Then I'll give you some tips and hints of what you can do to take back to your respective schools so that you can get started with maximum effectiveness. So I'm from St Francis Xavier College. We are a school in southeast Melbourne, 3 campuses spanning 3,500 students across Year 7 to Year 12. So from what we're told, we're the largest secondary school in the country. We have 450 staff. Of those, there's about 300 teaching staff. Of the 300 teaching staff, we have a 95% uptake in the use of OneNote in the classroom. I can say that with success because we are into our 5th year of our 5-year plan. So to give you a clear understanding of what OneNote is all about, how we use it, hopefully if one of my students has sent me an email very conveniently while I'm here, I can show you as a senior mathematics teacher how I teach with it. So my subject area is maths methods, further maths and specialist maths. I have 2 Year 12 methods classes and currently they've been in class today while I've been here. And all of my teaching is done out of OneNote, but the class notebook. So I'll talk about that in a bit of detail. To give you an understanding, prior to my immersement in technology and being able to interface with a device that has a digital pen, I would have written notes that I would scan, put them up on the whiteboard, get a whiteboard marker, I'd write, "Kids, you got it," I'd rub it off, scroll up, and I'd keep working like that. People around me thought I was the bee's knees. I was doing things that were trailblazing, and then all of a sudden I came to a PD, found one of these, and it completely changed what I did. I have not written on a whiteboard in 6 years, but I can show you everything I've taught for 6 years, right? From yesterday to 6 years ago. So those photographs there show what my old notes used to look like to what my classroom looks like now. Our classrooms have been very influenced by the successful use of technology by our teachers, and now we're integrating and using other things like wireless projection, 3 TV screens in a room, movable furniture, writable walls, things that create that collaboration. And mostly I can say it's been because of OneNote and the collaboration that OneNote does show and push. The next slides sort of show ideas of our new classrooms. So within those rooms, OneNote is probably the staple sort of platform that's utilised. And we've learned throughout our time in our digital learning program that using OneNote created this ocean of information that we started to really have a misunderstanding of how to contain it and control it. So we let it all go and then realised that everyone was creating their own information. So from there we started to go, right, as a faculty, how do you start to really pull those resources in so that we're actually now authoring our own content? We're still using textbooks and other resources, but how do you customise it in a way that you're able to deliver your own content in your way and have maximum engagement with your students? Effectively, if I timed it right and my class was on now, I could teach my class from here and have maximum effect in the classroom. Right, that's the level that OneNote can support you. So, as I mentioned before, we use OneNote Class Notebook. What this actually does is, if it's inbuilt into your learning management system, it will draw the data of who your students are and who the teacher is and build a class notebook for that particular timetabled calendar year. From that, you'll have student notebooks. Right? That basically means I have a one-to-one connection with every student in my class that we can share and collaborate information. I often use that when I have my Year 12s studying at night and they send me a Teams message or an email saying, quite simply, "Sir, check OneNote." Go into their tab, have a look, and they've dropped a picture of something that they're doing or an extract from a PDF document or part of the assignment that we're working on, and then I start to collaborate and write and explain and talk and answer out. If the student was at home watching what was going on, it would appear on their screen straight away. When I'm in class, I have my device up on the screen, all of their devices open, we still have our books out, but what they're watching on the screen, they've also got syncing to their screen, so effectively they can scroll back, look back, change, chop, do, add, subtract, to whatever it is that they need to be able to support them in that space. So, what I thought I'd move into next is explain a few bits and pieces of what we do. So, all timetable classes do use OneNote. We've made it very easily accessible through our learning management system. So a lot of Catholic schools in Melbourne use a product called Simon. Now, any learning management system that can integrate OneNote class notebook into your system, it's basically a click of a button, it draws all the information out and everyone gets connected to it. We found that by doing that, our teachers found it really easy to create one, which means it went really easy for everyone to want to use one. The one big theme that we made sure that we did within St Francis Xavier College was make it as easy as possible to use. That way when it is, it's successful. Right? And the biggest issue that we found that if accounts aren't easily created and properly set up and managed, that if a teacher or a student can't log into their 365, then that creates a hurdle and a bad experience in the classroom and they don't want to use it again. So there's my first sort of tip to success. Please make sure that the management of accounts and users is done very, very well and very strategic. From that, we also have our staff that, as I said, we have our own faculty notebooks and we'll give you a demonstration of all of those. So what I thought I'll do next is give you a demo of two notebooks. One is one that I'm currently teaching with now and I used yesterday and I was using earlier today, like 5 minutes ago. And then you can sort of see how it works, see the things that I do, and then at the end, if you have questions you want to ask, please by all means go ahead and do so. So, I'm going to just disconnect for a moment. Do I have any technical issues? I hope not. Okay, we're back. So what you see there is what a class notebook looks like. So I'll go through the elements of it. So at the very, very top, the staff that work on a particular subject, we've decided to add a tab that creates a wealth of resources, right? And from that, that actually sits in a repository that's our faculty notebook and we push it out to the students with a particular click of a button and out it comes from there. So you can see I've got handbooks, I've got resources, book list items, anything that I want to chop and change and add, and that could be anything from a picture to a PDF document, to a collaborative Word document, to an Excel file, to videos, to audio. Anything that you can think of drag and drop, will drag and drop into OneNote. The next part is what we call the collaboration space. That effectively works in a fashion that if I'm the teacher and I have 28 students, at any one point, all 29 of us can collaborate in the one space at the same time. Right? So, I use that when I am creating a class of chaos. I put prompt questions in, share it out on the screens, the students use their OneNote and create solutions, and then from there we converge back and we talk about the pathway of thinking, what drew you to this, sort of solution, things of that nature. That kind of space is really great to create a feeling and an understanding and a journey. And I find that there are particular subjects that use it more, but some sort of use it a bit less. Our English faculty live out of the collaboration space. So when there's a prompt or an analytical piece that they want to discuss, everyone's in on that space working on it. And it can be anything from talking to inking to recording each other's faces, whatever you can think of, it can do. Now, anecdotally, as you can see there, I've got tabs for particular sections that I want to work on. I'm quite OCD in how I organise things. So the fortnightly assignments, I say instead of it being a jumbled mess, there's always going to be questions about our fortnightly assignments. So I've got a space for that. So when my Year 12s go back and review the journey that we've been to get ready for their examinations, they can look at what they've done when it's focused only on that particular type of topic. You can also see, we've got an upcoming SAC to prepare for, so we're collaborating on that. Random questions, exercise questions, and checkpoints. The next one is called the content library. The content library is probably where I live out of in my teaching most of the time. It is a one-way street. I can author, they can read and copy. And that's it, and that's how I like it. If it's something I want us to work on together, I don't work in that space. Right? But then there's sometimes something that happens in the collaboration space that I want to document in the content library because I want to critique it into a certain spot. So a lot of the information that we do start sometimes gets copied or moved to somewhere else. So it is very flexible in that regard. The next one is the teacher-only section. That's great when myself and the other two methods teachers want to work on the solutions to the test, assignment or SAC. That's quarantined. We see it, they don't, only we see it, and they can never find it. Anything that's in there that we want to publish out, we just share it out via the usual avenues that OneNote does. And then from there you can see the list of names that I've got going, and each student has got a set standard number of sections that they have and then their own ones as well. So communication between a student and myself can be anything from check OneNote and they will post a particular problem in there. And what I will do is show you one that I've got. So, in my notes, I'll go to here. In my notes I've got, you can see what I taught yesterday. Now, that was a Word document that I've set my notes up, and again, I know that for my Year 12s I've got a set of notes that I've got to help them prepare, so I've got a bit of a script I work by. So the paper notes that I used to have, that I used to scan and put up, now just sits in OneNote, and you can see there's a document that sits there between page 5 and 6. And that's as simple as taking the Word document and printing it to OneNote. So most printers, most other softwares that can print, OneNote makes it thinks it's a printer and it'll send it to the section that you want, and then from there you can see my handwriting sits over the top. The great thing about that is that I can then go back, add content, change things on the fly, look at other resources. So for example, if I try and find one, okay. My students were asking me about one particular concept. Oh, does this show up in the exam? Right? They saw something, it scared them. They went, is this going to be in the exam? I go, good question. Yes, it is. So I went to the exam, found it, took a picture of it, dropped it in, and it sits right there. So within 2 seconds, I had the resource, put it in, and we engaged in it. Now, what I then do after that is say to the students, as I have time, I go back and tag and critique particular sections of my work so that when you do want to go and review things, I'll have tags that are like little bookmarks that lets them review the exam questions we reviewed as we were doing the course. Right? And then they can go back to that section, look at different things of that element. For myself, it's a way that if I had to have a question like that sent to me via email prior to using OneNote, would have been almost impossible to answer the student's question then and there. Or if I was here, to be able to answer my students' questions when I'm completely nowhere near them at all. What I found with the use of OneNote though, is that the personal connection that I started to have with my students was more so than what I had by just putting things up on the board and writing on the board. Because I was always looking at the board when I was teaching, but now I'm always facing and I'm always seeing eyes and I'm always getting the expressions and I'm like, you guys didn't get that, did you? And they're like, no, yeah, no, we didn't get it. And it becomes that sort of interpersonal connection. And from there, the journey that I have is that sometimes I'll go, you know what, last year I taught something, they morphed it into something really, really good. I wish I took a picture of it, or I wish I'd copied it down. The great thing about OneNote is that I've got every notebook for the last 6 years, for every class. So sometimes if I've got to leave an extra, I sometimes copy old content and paste it in there, and it saves me some time. Things that I knew that I was going to teach in a similar way, I can pre-script it. Or even if you are going to be away, you can sit there and go, oh, I've already put the content in OneNote, which we're finding a lot of our staff at the college are now leaving extra sheets and replacement classes, just saying to the person covering, all the information's in OneNote. So that becomes really dynamic. Okay. I've got about 5 minutes left, so I do want to show you one other thing, and it's probably more of a bit of a showcase for maths teachers. So anybody that uses software like this, that's the Texas Instruments graphics calculator. Being a senior maths teacher, it is really challenging to A, show them how to use this stuff, and then B, get them to remember what I did when I did it, and then they've got to replicate it at home. So using features like capture the screen, and then from there I can write notes over the top of it, say menu 444, and then they know exactly what they're doing and how we did it. Okay. Now, as a closing thing, to know where to get started and what to do and how this can all help you out, I would strongly recommend you engage and look at what we call the Microsoft Educator community. From there, so the Microsoft Educator community can give you a lot of training videos, resources. A lot of what I've spoken about are in those videos. I do have a session code for this, and there is one specific one, so if you do take the photo of it, by all means, have a look and follow that. But even if you just go into the Educator community, create yourself an account and start searching for OneNote online tutorial sessions, that'll get you started on the right foot, and then from there, being able to master and understanding how to create class notebooks that can also engage you in that space as well. Okay. Thank you very much.